Hello, everyone. I'm extremely glad to be welcoming you all to this session on how to configure Zoho SalesIQ for your website. So we hope you're all staying safe and you're all in the pink of health. I'm Michelle from the Zoho SalesIQ team, and I'm going to be taking you through this session on what Zoho SalesIQ is and how it can help you improve real-time customer engagement on your website. So before we begin, I have a few points to discuss with you. Please let me know in the chat if I'm audible and if the broadcast is working fine. And we have our product expert on the panel here to answer your questions. So keep them coming. We'll answer the questions as soon as possible. And if possible, please keep one instance of Zoho SalesIQ ready. If you already have an account in Zoho SalesIQ, please create an instance. Do not mess up your existing settings. Please create a different instance altogether so that you can, work things with me. Okay. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Dheeraj. Okay, so I'm assuming that I'm audible to all of you and that my broadcast is visible, and I'm just going to go ahead into the session. So let me tell you how I've planned out this entire session. So first, I'm going to be giving you an introduction of what Zoho SalesIQ is, and then about who can use Zoho SalesIQ, why you need Zoho SalesIQ for your business, and then we'll move on to the specifics about identifying visitors and then engaging in conversations using live chat and audio calls, and how to set up your brand and company profile inside Zoho SalesIQ. Then about how to add operators to your organization and associating departments with them and assigning operators, and then about different chat window controls that are available for you, and then about feedbacks, reports, and how you can schedule reports that can be sent to your customers. So let's get into these topics one by one. But first things first, what is Zoho SalesIQ? So when businesses started moving online, a lot of customer relationships were getting jinxed because of missed out conversations and delayed responses to messages. And this eventually happened to scar the customer's trust and thus the business itself. So this was when we came up with the idea of on-the-go identification and communication, and designed Zoho SalesIQ, a hassle-free live chat software that was made to reimagine business growth. So this is a software that can help you prospect, filter, engage, and segment every single visitor on your website or on your mobile application. So it's going to help you boost sales, support, and marketing activities on your business website or on your application. So who can use SalesIQ? SalesIQ is like one go-to solution for various teams and departments in your organization. So you have sales teams that would approach people that land on your site, give them deep insights about your product and convert them to customers. Then you have marketing teams who want to target the right visitors at the right time based on the visitors' behavior on the website or on your mobile application. Then there are support teams who are in need of a smarter solution compared to email, and they want to provide better support with messages and audio calls to their customers. And last but not the least, we have customer success teams. So these teams just want a simple report that provides operator data and statistics to gauge the performance of their customer support executives. Okay, so all of these teams that I spoke about can use Zoho SalesIQ, can use it to improve different aspects of a particular business. So why do you need SalesIQ for a business? So let's pick up a real-time example to help you understand the features better. Say you own an online e-commerce store. So you might have thousands of customers that are visiting your website every single day. So what would happen if these customers are left clueless on the website, not knowing what to do, or how to find the thing they're looking for? That's what happens to a website that does not have Sales IQ on it. So every visitor that lands on your website needs to be attended to at all times and offered help with respect to the website and what it offers. I hope you're all going to agree with me. So this is where Sales IQ comes into play. So when you install Sales IQ's live chat code on your website, every time a visitor lands on the site, you will be able to learn about the visitor. Say, for example, his name, the region that he or she is coming from, how many times he or she has visited your website, what past purchases have been made, and so much more. So when you learn about the visitor, you will be able to assist and engage him or her better. And once you know about your visitors, you can initiate conversations with them, or you can let them initiate one and then assist them in case they have any questions. So, with respect to our e commerce example, you can answer visitor queries regarding purchases, returns and refunds, payments, and so much more. And based on the visitor score and CRM position, you can also gauge your visitors and engage with them using features like intelligent triggers. All of this can be automated inside Zoho Sales IQ. So in these three events, so we're going to be looking at the different features inside Zoho Sales IQ by category. So this one will cover all of the basic aspects that you'll have to look into before you move on to the advanced concepts, before you start engaging with your visitors using Zoho Sales IQ. So this is not it. You can do a lot more with Zoho Sales IQ, and I'm going to tell you all about it during the different sessions. So the first step before you start engaging with your customers will be logging into Zoho Sales IQ and adding the code to your website. All right. So let me show you how you can log into Zoho Sales IQ. And for this, I'm just going to be sharing my screen. Just give me a minute and I will share my screen with you. So I hope my screen is visible. Please let me know in the chat in case my screen is not visible to you. Okay, so all you have to do is navigate to salesiq.zoho.com. Just type it out in your browser, and then you have to click on the sign in option here. You enter the email address. And then the password. And you will be logged into your Zoho Sales IQ account. So in case you're using different instances to learn the product with me, please make sure you log into Zoho Sales IQ so that you can see all of the features in live. I'm just going to give you a minute to log into your Zoho Sales IQ accounts. So you can also sign in to Zoho Sales IQ with using your Apple, Google, Microsoft, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Yahoo, and Slack accounts. It's not that you have to have an exclusive email address to log into Sales IQ. You can sign in using these options as well. Then comes adding code to your website. So adding Zoho Sales IQ code to your website lets you identify and contact your visitors with ease. So the Sales IQ live chat widget lets you engage with your website visitors in real time. And for this, you will have to embed Sales IQ's live chat code inside your website. So to do this, all you have to do is navigate to settings. Then you have brands. So brands are nothing. So if you have multiple websites for your business, all you have to do is add your brand or website inside Zoho Sales IQ, and then you will receive you will be able to see a unique code that you can embed inside your website source code. All right, so these are the different brands that I have added earlier. So in case I want to add a new brand, I can just click on add, and then I can give my brand name, and I can click on create. Then I need to add a description for my brand. And then I can associate departments with the brand. So here all of the existing departments have been associated by default. I can just delete these departments in case I don't want them by clicking on the X. Okay. All right. And there is also an option that allows you to use resources of associated departments. So these resources will be displayed in the live chat window for the visitors use. All right, so when this is done, I can click on done, and my brand is going to be added inside Zoho SalesIQ. So now to add the code to your website, all you have to do is click on installation, and then you can choose the channel of your choice. It can either be website, Android, iOS, or email signatures. So now I'm just going to stick to website. I'll click on website, and all I have to do is copy this code and then add it inside the website source code. All right, so now these are websites where Zoho SalesIQ's live chat code has already been embedded. So you will have to open the source code of your website, and you'll have to add this live chat and visitor identification code inside your source code, and click on publish, and the live chat widget from SalesIQ will be live on your website, and this is going to let visitors communicate with you and your operators at ease. So if you do not have access to the website's source code, or if you're not familiar with HTML, you have one option that will let you directly mail the SalesIQ installation code to your webmaster. So all you have to do is click on this option and add the email addresses. All right, and then you have to click on send. The script will automatically be embedded to this email, and all you have to do is click on send, and the installation code will be sent to your webmaster. SalesIQ also integrates with various platforms like WordPress, Blogger, Unbounce, Twitter, Tumblr, Light CMS, and all of that. So all you have to do is click on these three dots to look at all of the installations that are possible with Zoho SalesIQ. So that when you integrate with these platforms, you can bring live chat, tracking, and much more to your blogs and your e-commerce websites. So now that we've added our brand and embedded the installation code on our website, we shall move on to the next step. So the next step will be adding operators to your organization. So support operators are members of your team or organization that pick up chats from visitors and answer them. So this is usually not a one-man show, right? You need support, you need help from your associates to pick up chats from visitors and assist them with their queries. So to add more power and make your customer service run smoothly, you can add operators in SalesIQ to increase the effectiveness of your support operation. So with the ability to add your team members and configuring them into one of the three different roles offered by SalesIQ, you're going to be able to find the optimal structure for your live chat operation. So you have administrators, you have associates, you have supervisors. So these three different roles are available inside Zoho SalesIQ. Your administrators will have the power to perform any action in your Zoho SalesIQ, access all of the information, and edit any configuration. Supervisors cannot make any changes to Zoho SalesIQ, but they can view all of the data inside your operation. And then you have associates that connect and chat with customers and deliver solutions. So you can limit what data they have access to, and you can set up configuration so that they won't be able to delete or edit any records. So from the moment you create your Zoho SalesIQ, your live chat operation is staffed with one operator and administrator, which is you. But as great as you are, we think Zoho SalesIQ becomes infinitely more powerful, utilized as a tool for small teams, where everyone can pitch in and then connect with visitors as a part of, a total support culture. So this is why we made it super easy to add your team members to Zoho SalesIQ, so that they too can connect with your customers, and they can make your support operation so much more easier. So to add an operator, all you have to do is navigate to settings and then click on operators and click on add. So now you will provide an email address that you want to add, and then you will choose a role. Like I had mentioned, administrators can perform any action in SalesIQ. They can access all information. Supervisors cannot make any changes to Zoho SalesIQ, but they can view the data in your operation. And associates can connect and chat with customers and deliver solutions. So you can choose the role that you want to give to your operator. So I'm just going to choose administrator, and then I can associate operators to different departments. So under added departments, you can view all of the departments that have been associated with the operator. And in case you don't want to have any department associated to this particular operator, all you have to do is just click on this X and the department will be deleted. So you can associate as many departments with one operator as you want to. So all of the chats that are directed to that particular department will be routed to that operator as well. Then you can set the concurrent chat limit. So you can define the number of chats the operator can handle simultaneously, and your status will be changed to engaged once the limit has been reached, and new incoming chats will not be routed until an ongoing chat gets over. Then you have the available to take chats option. So enabling or disabling this particular option using the toggle switch will let you display the availability status of one particular operator. So once you do this, once you've selected an availability status, it will be immediately updated in the particular operator's profile. Let me add some more departments. So once all of this is done, I just click on add operator, and my operator will be added to the list of operators in my organization. So you can also edit the configurations that you have made for each operator inside your organization. So you click on the operator, and the first section that you will see is the personal information section. So here you can edit the first name and the last name of the operator, or you can add a nickname, and the email ID and the date of birth cannot be edited. Then you can also add descriptions, and you can change the roles of the operators in case you want to change their roles all of a sudden. And you can change the associated departments, add departments, delete them, and also modify the concurrent chat limit. Then their availability status, you can also turn off this option, and you have the operator away status option right here. So enabling this option when your operator is not available, so this is to just notify that the operator is away at the moment and will not be able to pick up chats. Then you have mobile notifications. So when you toggle this option, toggle it to on, you can get notified on your mobile when a new or a returning visitor lands on the website. And under desktop notification, you can toggle on to get notified on your computer. Now that we've added operators, the next section will be adding departments. So to organize your support operation better and maximize the ability to connect with customers, we made it easy to create departments within Zoho SalesIQ. So you can add all of your customer supporting departments inside Zoho SalesIQ, and each department can have their own dedicated chat widget. So you can specify groupings of operators for each department to ensure the right agent answers every single chat from the visitor. When you create your Zoho SalesIQ account, the system automatically generates a default department which will have the same name as your portal. And in addition to this, you can add as many departments as you want. So to add a department, you navigate to settings, select departments under company settings, and here you can click on the add button on the top right corner. So you give your department a relevant name. And you add a description for your department here. Then you choose the department type. So if it's a public department, it's going to be visible to all of the visitors that open your live chat window and initiate a chat. But if it's a private department, it's only going to be available for internal use. Your visitors will not be able to see or choose this option inside the live chat window. You can add or remove operators associated to your department at any point in time. So I've added 5 operators. I can also add additional operators whenever I want to. So while creating a department, when you click on email configurations, you can simply scroll down to view all of the settings inside the existing department. And for each configuration, you can click on the email address field that you would like to reply from. So first you have the from mail address, the email address that you would like to reply from. So I'm just going to add then send chat transcript. So distribute complete transcripts of your live chats to a specified email address when each chat session with a visitor is completed. And then you have a block visitors IP. You can add an email address. You can also add multiple email addresses. Then you have send visitor feedback. So you can deliver feedback to your customers, deliver the feedback that your customers leave about your operators to a specified email address. Then you have missed visitor notifications, notify a specific email address when a customer's live chat request is unanswered. Then you have add email copier. So here you can define an email address that you want to mark automatically while replying to your visitors. So you can add multiple email address to these fields by adding a comma and then typing the next email address. So once all of this is configured, you can just click on create department and your department will be listed here in the dashboard. So to modify settings inside the different departments, all you have to do is click on the department and then you can edit any configuration that you want to. So for example, I can just add a description here about the department, add more operators if I want to, or delete operators that I don't want anymore. I can edit the from email address, all of the email addresses that I had entered earlier while configuring the department. So if I want to disable a department, all I have to do is click on this particular toggle button and the department will be disabled. And to delete a department, I will have to click on the bin icon on the far right end. And once I click on delete, I will have to reassign the operators and the bots associated to that particular department to another department before I delete the department permanently. So let me just say I will associate to support and then I will click on delete and the department will be deleted. The next session will tell you how to set up your company's profile. All right. So now that you've added operators and departments to your organization, you will have to configure the information inside your company profile. So all of the information about your company will already be displayed here, and you can edit any of these configurations as and when you want to. So you can add a new address, you can modify the contact number that you have given, and your website and the descriptions. You can also change the language that you have chosen already. So you have a list of languages here that you can choose from. So the language will be updated successfully. And following that, you can also change the time zone that has been associated with your portal. You have the list of all the time zones here, and you can choose one. So as and when you change the time zone, it will be indicated here. And when you click on these different continents and the different time zones, your time zone will automatically be changed here. So anything that you want to modify about your company, you can do so inside the company profile section. The next topic will be identifying visitors on your website inside Zoho SalesIQ. So this particular window will let you identify who your visitors are, what you can see. So you can actually see what's happening inside your website. So it gives you a live view of what's happening there. All right, you have different flags that will help you identify who your visitors are and what their status at the moment is. So the live view module is actually a power packed module that lets you identify and track visitors, view and analyze the trail of every other visitor that's visiting your website. And more importantly, it allows you to view a lot of personal details like the name, geolocation of your visitors, and also lets you initiate a proactive chat at any point of time. So you have two different tracking views that are available inside Zoho SalesIQ. The first one is the ring view that you see here on the screen. So this is the cardinal page that gives you a visual overview of your visitor data based on various customizable conditions. And by default, the priority drops from the inner through the outer ring. So details like the name or random ID that has been assigned to the visitor, time spent by the visitor on your website, and the country from which the visitor is visiting will all be displayed over the rings in the form of small tiles for visitors who are currently browsing through your website. And more importantly, SalesIQ lets you identify and analyze a set of predefined actions that are performed by visitors by just having a glance at your priority rings. Then you also have the list view that will give you a traditional overview of your customer data. And in this view, the filtered and prioritized visitors would be categorized and organized into columnar data based on criteria that you set inside the customize option. So navigating back to my SalesIQ portal. So this is the actual live chat window. So here you can take a look at all of the visitors that have visited your website, and you can see the status here. All right. So this is the list view. So here all of your data is organized in columns. So what is so great about this particular module is that it lets you customize your visitor identification criteria. So all you have to do is click on customize, and you have a list of criteria that you can choose from to categorize your visitors. So it lets your operators filter, prioritize, and organize your visitor base routed to them. So this can be done by specifying a set of criteria or one single criterion in the customize tab. So based on the criterions you set, visitors will be filtered and organized around the priority rings in the ring view or as columnar data in the list view. Doing so You can prioritize and target your prospective visitors rather than desiccating the firm's time and resource over visitors who may not be quite profitable. So like I'd mentioned, priority drops from the inner ring through the outer ring in the ring view and from left through right in case of the list view. More importantly, customization rules set by an operator are limited to his or her account only. So Zoho SalesIQ provides operators with predefined filters. You can categorize them by action, by CRM values, by last activity time, past chats, time spent, visits, etc. And also, as a heads up, I want to tell you that you cannot avail the by CRM values filter if you haven't integrated your SalesIQ account with a CRM product yet. We'll be looking at how to integrate different products with Zoho SalesIQ in the second part of this event. So all you have to do is click on add, and you can see a bunch of conditions and criteria that you can choose from. Say, for example, number of past chats is greater than 5. So I've added one condition, and I'm going to add multiple conditions right here. Or search engine is Google. All right, so you can add any number of conditions as you want to. You can also add a title, a unique title. All right, so you can add different criteria for each of your lists as per your own requirements. And you can also categorize your visitors by the region, the operating system, the time they've spent on the website, their country, visitor availability, number of visits, and so much more. You also have conditions like MailChimp campaign or CRM values, the ones that we spoke about earlier. So these CRM values criteria will be available only when you have a CRM integration with your Zoho SalesIQ account. You just don't have to stick to the default conditions that are provided by Zoho SalesIQ. You can also create your own conditions. And once the condition is created, it will be listed here inside this particular section. And you can just choose the condition and it will be deployed right here. This little star that you see on the screen notifies or denotes a cold visitor. So the visitors who do not match any prioritization criteria that has been set will be classified as cold visitors. So they are displayed as stars outside the rings in ring view and under the cold visitors tab in list view. So when you click on these stars, you'll be redirected to the proactive chat window or the visitor tile, where the following details will be displayed: either the name of the visitor or a random ID that has been generated for the visitor by SalesIQ, and the availability of the visitor's landing page on your site, the time spent by the visitor on your website, and the number of pages they've visited, the source of their current visit, time frame between the last and the current visit of the visitor, and the current web page that they're on. And you can also see the opportunity and lead score of the visitor inside the proactive chat window. So in case there is an ongoing conversation, you can just click on continue the conversation and the active chat will be open. So now that our tracking presets are ready, we are going to move on to engaging in conversations with live chat and audio calls. So the proactive chat window, like the one that we just saw, appears when you click on a visitor inside your live view section. So this holds the collection of various details about the visitor that can give you an overview on the specific visitor before you initiate a chat. So you can start a chat with potential visitors when you identify one without having to wait for them to initiate a conversation. So all you have to do is click on the visitor that has been identified in the ring or the list view, type out your message in the input field and click send. So the brand is associated with more than one department, then you can pick the department on behalf of which you would like to send out this message to that particular visitor. And once the chat has been initiated, your live chat window will look like this. So here you can enter your messages and send them out to the customers. You can also use canned messages to initiate chat. So all you have to do is type / and the list of canned responses inside your portal will be listed here. So I can just choose one and click on send, and my message will be sent out to the visitor. So inside the live chat window, you will be able to view a lot of details like the information like browser type, browser version, number of visits by the visitor, IP address, cookie support, character encoding, and OS, and all of that. And other than that, you'll be able to see the opportunity, the lead score, the page that the visitor first landed on, the IP address, and the source of their visit. And you can also view the browsing history right here, and what are the different actions that were performed by the visitor on the website. And here you have new features in SalesIQ 2.0 called widgets that will let you display information from different integrations that are required by your operators, so that you don't have to give them access to your entire database. You can just choose to extract essential information that will be required by your operators and display them using widgets. So we'll be talking about widgets during the second part of the session. So you have widgets right here. So responding to visitor replied chats is also super easy. So the visitor replies to your chat invite, you'll receive a message request pop up, and you'll have to click on reply and attend the chat. And if the visitor you are identifying and analyzing initiates a chat, there'll be a status style of the visitor that will be changed to waiting. So you can click the pickup button to attend the chat and respond to the query. One more powerful feature inside the Zoho SalesIQ live chat window is the audio call feature. So with this feature, you can make and receive audio calls just like using a traditional phone. So all you need to make this audio call is a pair of computer speakers and a microphone or a headset attached to your computer or your handset. And the long monotonous chat sessions that you've been having for a very long time, they're not needed anymore. Audio calls help your operators solve problems quickly and efficiently, and this is going to improve the resolution rate and save a lot of time and effort. And with audio calls, visitors don't have to wait for hours together for a single response from an operator. They can get their queries answered then and there. So this works both ways. An operator can initiate a call to the visitor on a website, or the visitor can initiate a call if he or she wishes to, and the operator who's handling the chat will pick it up and converse with them. Then you also have recording a voice message and sending it out to the visitor. So in case you don't want to type out a long message, you can just click on the send voice message, the microphone icon here inside your live chat window, and you can record your voice message and send it out to the visitor to make your response more clear. You also have smileys that you can send during your conversations to make your conversation more appealing and fun. You have markdown support, and you can also share attachments, maybe a resource, or attach different files in different formats. So now that we've set up our brands inside Zoho SalesIQ, we have a bunch of configurations that we'll be looking at right now. So let me just navigate to one of my brands. So click on the brand of your choice, and now we're going to be setting up pre-chat forms. So I'm just going to click on flow control. So getting contact information from the visitor inside the chat and then managing that is like a very challenging task. So when data is lost, it is a tedious process to view the entire chat to get that single piece of information you're looking for in the conversation. So pre-chat forms help you overcome this particular limitation by collecting the essential data from your visitors before starting a chat. So you can use the collected data to analyze the visitor and record them in your SalesIQ portal. So you have in-chat forms that allow users to initiate chats, without having to fill in details before starting the conversation. So this can be very advantageous when it comes to quick support-based businesses where customers might be expecting to be assisted immediately without having to wait. So you can collect their data details later during the chat. So you can add fields of your choice. Here we have name and email by default. You can add different fields. You have phone and newsletter subscription. So all you have to do is drag and drop the field of your choice and then click on save, and the configuration is going to be saved. And then you can choose the style of your form, either inline or conversation or traditional. So if you wish to have a more modern feel where your visitors can dive into the conversation and collect details later inside the chat, you can go with the inline style. So here details are collected using standard chat window fields. Then you have the conversation style. So this one lets you collect details from users in a more modern conversation style. So your details must be entered in the chat window on the required input field. And then you have the traditional style as usual. Then you can set up waiting time for visitors. So you define a time limit within which your operators must respond to the incoming chat request. And if the limit exceeds, and the unattended chat will go to the missed chat section. A lower time limit can increase customer satisfaction, but a higher time limit has more chance of getting picked if you have a very limited number of operators. If you have individual departments to look over a website or one particular part of the website, you can route the website visitors to their respective departments. For example, if a visitor initiates a chat from a car dealership website, you can route that request to the department that handles automobiles. Only operators of that department will be able to see your incoming chat request. So you have to assign at least one department with a brand. You can assign multiple departments, and there is no particular cap on how many departments have to be associated with the brands, but a minimum of one must be associated with each brand in your portal. Then you have use department resources option. So to use resources like canned responses, templates that are available in the chosen departments, you can enable this particular option in the flow page. So if disabled, you have to pick the departments to utilize its resources. In the flow control page, disable this display departments for resources option, then select the departments whose resources that you would like to use. Then you have the reopen chat option. So you can allow visitors to reopen a closed chat to seek further assistance on the issue. So reopening chats can help your operators assist visitors based on past chat context without starting from the beginning. Then you can allow your operators to decide if they want to pick up a chat or ignore them, or you can automatically assign incoming chats to available operators when a visitor initiates one. Automatically assigning requests can help reduce a lot of missed chats. Then you have the chat waiting queue. You can set the maximum number of simultaneous chat requests an operator can get. So once the queue limit has been reached, visitors will be asked to leave a message to contact the operators again. Then you have content moderation. So you can moderate your chat by filtering the abusive content that you receive. So enabling this will help you have a professional and safe workplace to assist a lot of genuine users and avoid abusers. So you can choose the conversations that you want moderated, only operator conversations or both operator and bot conversations. And then you can choose a message action if you want to display the message, mask it, or restrict the message. And then you have defining abusive limits. So you set up a threshold to warn and close the chat after sending a particular number of abusive messages. And you can drag the slider to the desired number to fix the limit here. So you can customize warning messages by replacing the text in the input field here. And there are follow-up actions as well, so you can opt to close the chat or block the user when the abusive limit is crossed. So once all of this is done, you will just click on save, and all of your configurations and changes will be saved successfully. There's also an enable feedback option. You can enable the operator rating and feedback option by toggling this button. You can add text that will encourage and motivate your visitors to view replies. Also, you can customize a response to the visitors' feedback by adding a lot of custom replies in your input box. And here you can also use dynamic text. The next step will be personalization. So now that you've set up flow controls, you can customize your live chat widget and your live chat window inside this personalization section. So this can be done to match your website's look and feel, and choose where and how you want them to be displayed to your customers, and then connect with them seamlessly. So here you can choose your widgets type. It can either be a float widget or a button widget. So float widget is a handy way to attract your visitors' attention throughout your pages, without intruding into their on-page experience, because this widget is going to be floating along with the browser even as the visitor scrolls up or down. So you can choose that, or you can choose to a button widget, to use a button widget for your live chat. You can also upload your, if you're not satisfied with the widget designs, you can get out of the box, and you can just upload a custom sticker for your button. So this will be a personalized widget that will match your brand better. So you can use the upload image online or upload offline image option to upload a sticker of your choice. Then you can customize the chat widget content, the online message and the offline message. I'm just going to choose a float widget. You can pick a color for your live chat widget. So whatever changes you make here inside the section will be seen inside the preview window right here. You can choose from a huge list of colors. Here you have options to display your company's logo. So your company's logo will be displayed here. And then you can also include operator image. You can upload an image of your choice from your computer, and you can display it inside the live chat window for your visitor to know who they're communicating with. If you want to hide your widget, live chat widget, on the mobile browser, you can just enable this particular option. And also, if you want to hide your chat widget when your portal is offline, when your business is offline, you can enable this option. And here you can also choose the widget position, either the left bottom or the right bottom, wherever you want it. These are all based on your own website and business requirements. So once it is done, I'm going to click on save. Okay, so I'm just going to disable this option for now and click on save. So next comes customizing your chat window. So here you can choose a theme for your chat window, pick a color, choose a size. If you want a large chat window, you can do that. Again, you have display company logo and the operator profile picture. And you can also upload a custom CSS if you want to. to change the appearance of the chat window. And here you can specify a name for how your knowledge base will be displayed inside the live chat window. You can either say FAQs or you can say help. Then you can choose how to display your articles on the chat window, either just the category, or if you want to list out all of the articles in your knowledge base, you can choose the show all option. And we click on save. And here you can choose the website language and the chat window font that you want to match your business website requirements and the look of your business website. So inside brands, you can also set up business hours or this working hours for your company or support. So it'll help visitors acknowledge your availability so that they can approach you accordingly for live support. So using business hours, you can even turn off support if your operators are logged in. So you can just edit this option. You can change it as per your requirements. And click on save. So you can either choose 24 hours, 7 days, or 24 hours, 5 days, or you can set up custom hours as per your choice. So if you choose 24 hours, 5 days, or 7 days, you can choose when your week starts. And then click on save. And you can also choose this option if you want to hide your live chat widget when your business is offline. And click on save. So business hours will only work on the time zone that you've configured in your company settings. So enabling the hide chat widget during offline hours, that particular feature will hide your chat widget during non-business hours. So visitors will not be able to view resources like FAQs or communicate with Zobots if you have deployed any of them. And you can just display business hours if you haven't specified any working hours as such. So then you have the chats module. So in this section, you can see all of your active chats with visitors. So when you're engaged in more than one chat at the same time, the chat window will neatly organize all of your chats, active chats, into different tabs. So to access this, all you have to do is click on chats inside your SalesIQ dashboard. So you can communicate with your customers here. You can also send visitors files and links, like I had already mentioned, by clicking on the share attachments option. You can transfer the chat to another agent, or if they're spamming or harassing you, you can even block the visitor's IP address from starting new chats. So you have all of the options right here. You can invite another operator from your organization to join your chat, or you can transfer the chat in case you're not associated to the particular department this chat was routed to. You can transfer the chat to another operator who's associated to the required department. Then you can block IP address. You can also share screen. In case you want to give more clarity to your response, you can just share your screen with a visitor so that they'll be able to understand the response you're giving to them more accurately. Then you can also request remote access to the visitor's screen so that you can see what they're exactly dealing with. You can email the chat transcripts. You can save your chat transcripts as PDF and also print. So you have all of these different options at the top right corner. And like we already spoke about, we have the make a voice call option and the send voice message option. So this is again a shortcut for screen share. So while you chat, you'll also see a quick view of the visitor's information on the right side. So it's going to give you easy access to your visitor's email address, the pages they were visiting when they initiated the chat. You can also see the visitor's location represented by a small icon right here, the local time. So with this common information already at hand, you can tailor a customer support experience to their specifications and move the support process along quicker by avoiding asking the customer about what browser and operating system they're using. So here you can click on the notes icon and see or add notes related to the visitor or the chat. You can also view the list of recent chats in this particular section. So here there are no recent notes available, and here is the recent chats section. You can click on any chat and you can view the entire transcript while you're in the middle of another conversation. So once you've helped the customer, you've responded to their query, you also have the option of ending the session. So if you're satisfied with the chat and the customer has finished asking questions, you can click on end immediately. If you're unsure if the customer is done asking questions or is even actively viewing the chat, you can choose to end the session by time, either 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 60 or 90 seconds. So when you select one of these options, SalesIQ will begin to count that amount down, and if the visitor in the chat doesn't respond before that time, the chat will automatically end. So there's no reason to babysit a lot of dead chats that aren't going anywhere. The visitor will see a message and a countdown prompting them to re-engage if they want to continue the chat. And if they start typing, the countdown to close will end and the session will continue. When you have no active chats, you won't be able to navigate to the chats window, and as such will not see a link to it on the left-hand module column. So you can access all the archives of the activity from your live chat customer support operation by navigating to the My Chats module. So here you have 3 different categories: active chats, missed chats, and closed chats. So with chat history, you and your operators can learn about what each visitor's interests are and base the current conversation on those interests. This will ensure a lot of continuity even if your operators are not available at the moment. If another operator has to pick up a chat that one of your other operators have previously handled, then it's going to be easier with the My Chats section. So when you enter the view, you'll see chats from your Zoho SalesIQ, the most recent displayed at the top and going back in time as you scroll down. So each section displays the name and email address of the visitor who started the chat, their question, and the time they submitted the chat, along with the agent who's attended their live chat offline request. So you can sort your visitor history, chat history by initiated time or the last message time. And like in the live chat window, you can also see all of the information displayed here in the history section. So the visitor's email address, contact number, and all of the details that you were able to see in the live chat window, they'll all be displayed here. So this module is going to make it easier for you to follow up with your visitors, know who your visitors are, what they've conversed with your operators, and then follow up with them. So before we move on to the next section, I want to talk about another most important feature. You can now personalize your chat conversations with visitors using real-time chat translation in Zoho SalesIQ. So Zoho SalesIQ translates visitor chats in 30 plus languages and lets your operators connect with visitors from all regions. For example, we have a chat message that is in French here. So French language has been detected, and you can just click on translate to translate the chat into the language that you have set for your portal. So here it has been translated to English. So with real-time live chat translation, your operators can assist visitors from different parts of the world, talk to them in their own language, make them feel at home. This is eventually going to increase the trust they have on your brand and encourages them to visit your website again. And your operators can type out replies to queries in their language and get them seamlessly translated to the visitor's language when they're sent out. This feature can be super beneficial for businesses like travel agencies, educational institutions, online healthcare services, online shopping websites, etc. So at any point during the chat, you can stop the translation if you want to continue the chat in the visitor's language. And for that, you just have to click on the stop button and your translation will be stopped. And if you wish to view the original transcript, you can click on the double arrow that appears on the top of the screen. That was next to the stop button. Then you have visitor feedback. So feedback helps you understand your customers better and how they feel about your website and your support operation. So visitors will be prompted with a feedback form after the chat is ended. And here they can rate the operator based on the options sad, neutral, or happy, and leave any comment. So analyzing visitor feedback helps you improve operators' performance and enhance your customer support. So you can view all of the visitors' feedbacks by navigating to the feedback section from the SalesIQ dashboard. So on the top right of the chat review window, you can find the full view of the comment if there are any, associated departments, duration of the chat, and notes made by the operator during the chat. And you also have an option to send out a reply email to the visitor for a follow-up or thanking them, maybe for taking the time to rate their operator and leaving a helpful comment. So you can send an email from right here. You can also export your visitors' feedback to perform further analysis and improve your customer support, or maybe to send them out to your operators. You can either do this in the .xlsx format or .csv format. You have two different options. You can also filter your feedback by different conditions. You have some default conditions listed here, either operator name, department name, rating, date, and brand name. So you can filter them by any condition of your choice. Then comes the people module. So the people module here has three different sub modules as such. We have visitors, contacts, and companies. So let's look at visitors first. So who's a visitor? So if a person leaves your website without providing any contact information like their name, address, or phone number that the operators could use to perform a follow-up, that person will be considered a visitor. So details about all such visitors will be listed here inside the visitors section. So instead of the name, you will see a random ID that was generated for your visitor. So there are 5 types of default lists that are available in the visitor history module. So you have all visitors that enlist all of the visitors visiting your website. Returning visitors will separate repeated visitors from all visitors and list them separately. And you have today's visitors that will show the list of all the visitors who have visited your website today. And cold visitors, visitors who do not match any tracking criteria set, will be categorized here. And visitors who landed on your website for the very first time will be displayed here in the today's new visitors section. So you have 5 different options here. You can also create your custom list by adding various rules. If followed, the visitor will be enlisted in your list. So you can add a title, and then you can choose the criteria. So let me just say OS. So there are a list of OSs listed here. And click on save. So when I choose that particular filter, all of the visitors that match that filter are going to be listed here inside this section. So here you have a list of sorting conditions. So you can choose one of the sorting conditions based on which the order of the visitors will change. You have the most frequent visitor will be displayed first when you choose this option. And when you choose the top lead scoring visitor option, the list will start from the visitor who has the highest lead score, and visitors spent more time. So this list will start from the visitor who spent the highest time or the maximum amount of time on your website. And recent visitor will create a list that will be ordered from the most recent visitor to the least recent visitor. So you have these different four different sorting conditions. So the visitor's name, the visitor's behavior, interests, CRM info, visits, actions, etc. will all be displayed here inside this section. And to view detailed information about each visitor, you click on the name of the visitor on the list, and the visitor information tab will appear on the right side of the screen. And here your visitor details will be split into 3 tabs. So they are visitor information, conversations, and activities. So visitor info will collect, SalesIQ collects a lot of information about the visitor, right? So you can view all of those information inside the visitor info tab. You have personal information like name and address, and visitor information like date when the first visitor first landed on your website, date of their last visit, number of times they have landed on the website, and number of times they've initiated a chat, the source through which the visitor landed on your website, the maybe campaigns or direct search engine AdWords, referrals, etc., the number of times they visited your website, the topmost page that has been visited by the visitor, and average time spent by the visitor, favorite operator, rating, and all of that will be displayed here in the visitor info section. So you can also edit some of the personal information that was provided by visitor in case you have more information with you, and click on save. Then you have the conversation section where all of the conversations made by the visitor will be mentioned. So you can click on a specific chat to view the conversation in detail. The date and time the operator attended, and the status of the conversation will all be displayed here. And you can perform a follow-up on the conversation by clicking on send email at the bottom, or clicking the mail icon on the top right. And conversation can be used to analyze the visitor and then approach them accordingly. The activity section provides the entire list of actions that have been performed by the website visitor. You can also see details like, the landing page, date and time of visit, pages accessed, chat initiated, chat ended, email sent, notes added, and all of that inside the activities section. So here again, you have the options to export your visitor lists for maybe follow-ups, or to share with your operators. You have 2 different formats that you can choose from to export your visitor lists. Then you have contact. So if a visitor provides contact information like, the email address, phone number, etc., and that information can be used to perform a follow-up, that visitor will be converted as a contact. So again, you have 5 different lists here: all contacts, returning, today's contacts, cold contacts, and today's new contacts. Like in the visitors module, you also have contact information, conversations, and activities inside the contacts module as well. What's great about these modules is that you can create a list based on your own requirements and customize your list views. Let me create a new list here as well. I'm just going to go back to region and select Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and click on save. And all of the visitors that match that particular criteria will be listed here. Then you have the companies module. So if an organization or firm's employees initiate a chat with your operators, the data will be shown in the company module. So the company's employee is identified using an integration, mostly Clearbit integration. So in the company overview, you can view all of the essential data of the organization, and the module is again categorized to make it easy for your team to analyze data and perform follow-ups accordingly. The configurations are the same as in visitors and in the contacts module. You can create custom lists of views and then display the companies accordingly, or you can choose from these conditions: all returning, new companies, and companies visited, cold companies, etc. Then you have a bunch of controls for your chat window that you can customize inside your brands. So let's move on to brands. Choose the brand of your choice and click on configurations. So here you can name and describe your brand to make it more identifiable and feel more personalized. You can change your brand's description, and you can enable the email option for visitors in the chat window to send out required conversations to their inbox immediately. And visitors can view their past conversations for future reference and catch up on conversations maybe they would have missed out on when you enable this particular option. You can provide visitors with a wide range of emojis to choose from and make your conversations more emotively expressive. And you can enable the attachment option in the chat window, with which visitors can share images, Word documents, PDFs, audio and video files with operators during the conversation. You can enable this particular remote access powered by Zoho Assist option to allow your visitors to project their screens during a conversation. So this can be used to get a hands-on experience on the visitors' issues and assist them with ease. Then you enable the call recording option in the chat window, with which you can record all of the conversations with the visitor for future reference. And you can enable the voice notes option in the chat window, with which visitors can share a voice message with your operator during the conversation. Then we have privacy settings. So as we understand, let me just save this before I move on to the next section. So as we understand that each website's preferences are different, you can make choices on your own GDPR settings as well. So you can enable or disable GDPR for the website as per your requirements. You can notify the visitor when they visit your website that the site will use cookies for future reference, and this notification will be indicated on the website's page. And you can also link your privacy policy document to the message for a clear picture and make your customer aware of the cookie storage. So you have do not notify, notify visitors, and notify and provide an option for them to opt out. So if you wish to notify the visitor and offer an opt-out option from storing cookies on your website, you can choose this option. Then you have Google Translation notification. So you can notify your visitors about the use of Google Translate when conversing with a visitor in a foreign language. So it'll help them understand if you make any mistakes or if you didn't respond correctly. Again, you have three options for that: do not notify, notify, and provide option to opt out. You can also get the visitor's consent before they initiate a chat. You should attach your privacy policy document and get the visitor's permission if you wish to use any of the visitor's information that you receive in the chat window elsewhere. And DNT is a browser setting that will let your visitors send a message to websites, web apps, or other third-party advertising networks requesting not to track their personal information as they browse through a lot of different sites. So SalesIQ lets you identify, analyze visitor data irrespective of visitor DNT requests. So you can avail this by enabling the track DNT enabled visitors option. And once we're done configuring all of these chat window controls, we can click on save. Here you have channels that you can choose from. So you have the different channels that you can turn on or off. And if you're yet to install codes for different channels, you can install them right from here. Then you have reports. So this module will give you an overview of what has been happening inside your website, inside your business website. By default, the dashboard will be set to all departments, and you can display the reports for the current day only. You can choose the time frame for which you want to display the reports. So this overview dashboard that you see right here, it will give you a feel of everything going on throughout your entire throughout your live customer support chat operation. Then you have visitor reports. So here you can see all of your visitors details, visitor chat waiting time, the chat waiting time ratio, and all of the support information. Then you have operator activity report. So this will display the activity of all your operators throughout the day for the selected time frame. You have activity reports here that show you the traffic summary, the activity analysis, visits and unique visits, contacted, responded, average time spent, pages visited, and all of that. So here you can change the different time frames for which you want to display reports. So this can be either for the last hour or today or yesterday. You can choose hours or days. So you can choose the time frame based on your own requirements. So with this, we've come to the end of our session. So today's session was all about adding Zoho SalesIQ's live chat code to your website and identifying visitors that land on your website inside your SalesIQ dashboard, initiating live chats with them and engaging in conversations, making audio calls, and how to set up your brand and how to personalize your chat window and live chat widget, and how to learn more about your visitors using the people module, visitors, contacts, companies, and how to view all of your ongoing chats in the chat section, how to add operators, how to associate departments with these operators. And then we had looked at chat window controls, configurations in Zoho Sales IQ, about visitor feedback, and then about how to view reports and portal usage statistics and all of that. So the next session will be about global settings, adding resources in your Zoho Sales IQ account, and automations, how to route visitor chats to different operators and departments, lead scorings, integrations, mobile SDKs, and different channels that are available in Zoho Sales IQ. So stay in touch with us. We'll keep you notified about whatever's happening with Zoho Sales IQ. And if you have any questions related to the topics that were covered today, please keep posting them here in the chat and we will answer them as soon as possible. If you have more questions related to the session that was handled today, you can also write to us at support@zohosalesiq.com, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. So you can also access our resources section to know more about adding brands, how to configure Zoho Sales IQ for your website, and all of that. So thank you for being patient with us and staying through the session. We hope you all enjoyed the session, and we're hoping to see you all during the next two events as well. We'll keep you notified about the same. So this is me, Michelle, signing off. Thank you so much. We're still going to keep our questions section open, so you can post all of your queries there and we'll keep answering them. Thank you and have a great day.